Guillas, also known as Beaver. I play guitar with Propagandhi.
So you just released a new album this September. Was there anything specifically you set out to accomplish? Or was there anything you did accomplish, surprisingly?
Well, no, we didn't set out to accomplish anything specifically. We just like to write songs that we like to hear and like to play. But I guess, I was surprised, with the ways some of the songs turned out. There was a lot more of a collaborative spirit on this record. I mean, there wasn't the last one too. This is my second record with the band, so Supporting Cast was my first record with them. But this one, I felt like we collaborated together a lot more, or we succeeded more in that. I think the songs are much more interesting. I can hear all four of us loud and clear. I can hear everyone's sort of distinct voice on that record, and the new record, and that's why I love it so much. I feel like every song has its own thing going on. It's a very diverse sounding record to me. But as far as playing, there's a few I really love playing. Rattan Cane. It's a really heavy song. It's really fast. It's challenging, which is fun. And on the other end of the spectrum, Note to Self, the first song on the record, I really love. It's I feel like it's almost a new sort of direction for the band in a way. It's got some quieter moments and some more dynamics happening musically. So I guess right now those two stand out, but I love them all.
Great. So one song that stuck out for me on the album was Devil's Creek, and there was a few like this, but how personal that song was, and yet relatable, the whole concept of isolation scene. Do you think that it's important to bring that personal element into socially conscious music?
Yeah, absolutely. Chris could comment better on that. He wrote that, but that was me experiencing what he experienced, when he's writing about it. But I feel like I know what he's talking about, and it really just resonates. And I think those personal resonances that really strike you, that's what it affects the way you kind of interact with the world, right? So I don't see it as a separate thing between the personal and the outside world. I think it's meshed together, and that's what makes that song so powerful. Is that it's so personal, but yet it's so it's applicable. I think people can pick up on the vibe.
Yeah, definitely. Do you feel like being political in music is sometimes mocked a little these days?
I don't know. I'm not attached with everything. So I have no idea if it's mocked. If it is, I don't really care, I guess. I don't know. It's of course we're a political band, but it's but like you were saying in the last question, it's personal. It's I don't write the lyrics, but I feel them, and when they're writing, it's they're not setting out to write political songs. They're writing about things
that's just what comes out.
Yeah, it's what they care about, and so it's about ideas that we care about. That's basically what it comes down to.
These are the two main critics I've seen. I don't know if you have a response for this, but the first is really basic, that music should be for music's sake because political songs don't have the power to affect change. And what would your response be to that?
I don't know. I can only speak from my own personal experience, and music changed me. Propagandhi changed me. I grew up listening to them. I had never heard of being a vegan. I grew up in a small town, and I wanted to be a hunter and a police officer when I was a kid. And then I come across this band, and their music it hits me hard, and what they're talking about. Another band like that is Fugazi, and I think music can affect change. Yeah.
Nice. So the second argument is that listening to political music creates an informed but a passive audience, and that the audience begins to feel like they're doing their part just by being critical and conscious, and therefore they don't act upon their beliefs in a way that could potentially affect change. What would you say to that?
I don't know. That seems to be just an endemic problem with society in general, right? I think a lot of people are aware of how crazy things are and don't really do much, myself included. I throw myself into that lump too. It's yeah.
So you've been around the band itself has been around for 26 years. Do you know, have you heard from other members of the band, some positive ways in which the band has evolved?
Yeah. Well, I can comment on that from two aspects, as a fan before I joined the band, and then as someone who's been in the band for 6 years. And when I was about 14, I guess I heard Propagandhi. That would have been 1993 or so, and all those other Fat Records bands too, and I liked them all. But then as I got older and I started getting like I played guitar and I got bored of those other bands really quick. But I found with Propaganda, each record is just like, oh, okay, well, they're kind of like, I'm growing up, and not that they're growing up. I guess that's the wrong word, but each record is honest to what they were trying to achieve. They weren't trying to like stick to a formula that brought them success, right? They were trying to just stay honest to themselves and what they liked. And so yeah, for each record, I feel like each record progressed really nicely. And then since I joined, it's been the same thing. Like the last record was a progression from the previous one, and I feel like this one's a progression from the supporting cast, like lyrically, musically, and everything.
Is there anything you might that you miss a little bit about the band, the way it was in the earlier days?
No. To be honest, no. I was in those early days. I was in high school. I fucking hated high school. I think the soundtrack to my life back then, which would have been bands like Lagwagon and RKO and bands like that. I hated high school. Why would I want to listen to the soundtrack of those days? Like I moved beyond that. I'm into different stuff now. I still get nostalgic for some of that stuff once in a while, but I'm glad I'm in a band that, like, I like those old songs, don't get me wrong, and I like playing them, but I'm glad I'm in a band that has progressed and just stay true to ourselves, as musicians, and also as just as people who aren't 16 anymore. I'm 33, the other guys are 40. We're different than we used to be. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit of an odd question. Do you feel that being a Canadian band has given you a different perspective on certain things? Like, how is being from Manitoba shaped, if at all, what you do as a band?
I don't know. I guess Manitoba. The obvious answer is that it's freezing cold there in the wintertime. It's very isolated. So you're stuck in this frozen city where no one goes outside. And Todd and I were talking the other day about how, like, downtown Winnipeg, it's a big city, but in the middle of January, you're walking downtown in this big city, and there's no one else outside because it's so bloody cold. And that's just a bizarre thing. And I think it just produces a different kind of person than, say, someone who grew up in LA, I guess, where it's just it's nice all day long, or all season, all year long. And also in Manitoba, there's a real aversion, I find, to like celebrity.
Okay.
The culture of celebrity, at least in my experience.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, like everyone I know hates celebrities and has no desire to be a celebrity. Like we certainly don't. It makes us very uncomfortable.
I get along with you guys then.
Yeah, but I think if you grew up in California, potentially it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make an unfair generalization, but I think it's a different culture in different places. And in Manitoba, it's just like, fuck you if you're a celebrity.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Your band is obviously known for speaking openly about racism, sexism, etc. Not etc., but etc. That's a long list. How do you feel that translates to a punk audience, an audience that tends to be largely like homogeneous? It's mostly white, it's mostly male, mostly interested in one type of aggressive masculinity, and for the most part straight. How do you think that translates?
Hard to say. It depends on the person, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully all we can hope to do is plant a kernel of another idea into someone's head.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, going back to my own personal experience, is like I was on a trajectory to be a really big jerk in life. Like growing up in a small town and the things that I thought I wanted to be, and I was very lucky that I was exposed to some music and some friends at the right age where I kind of took a different path on life. And so anyway, I just know how powerful a little kernel of something can be if it hits you at the right time,
Yeah.
So.
Wow. What question do you feel doesn't get asked enough? What are people not talking about maybe that they should be? Lots of things, I guess.
I know in Winnipeg, this is just the first thing that comes to my mind, but our mayor doesn't even live in Winnipeg. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and no one ever talks about that. And there's a million other reasons why he's a jerk, but he lives in another city. He's a multi-millionaire. Our city is just plagued by violent crime and shootings, and how is this man supposed to know what life in Winnipeg is like, let alone for life of families in the inner city. Like, he's clueless. Clueless.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Like, yeah, how can you be mayor of the city?
I understand that. It's like,
you can mayor
that's
of the city.
something out of a movie, you know? Like,
Yeah.
the guy running a country, but nobody ever sees him, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I say movie, but that happens everywhere, I guess, and even in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. Did not know that. Well, thanks very much. That was awesome.
Thank you.